Diana Taurasi dropping a huge bomb.
Diana Taurasi just said Paige Bueckers is going to be better than Caitlin Clark.
Diana Taurasi actually saying that Paige Bueckers is going to be the best player in the WNBA. One day, she's going to end up being the best player in the league for sure.
And fans are stunned. Is this legit praise or just Yukon bias at its peak?
It is just Yukon. The Yukon bias. The Yukon bias has affected everything in the WNBA.
Because let's be real, Caitlin Clark is already changing the league while Paige is still trying to find her footing.
Paige Bueckers versus Caitlin Clark debate.
Only time Paige Bueckers might be one of the best players is when Caitlin Clark is out of the league. And even that's hard to say.
If you're Team Caitlin, drop a 100% in the comments right now. Let's get into it.
It is undeniable that Caitlin Clark is the engine.
Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA, goes through college. She has panache. She has style.
Caitlin Clark effect. There has been so much of an influx in attendance, in jersey sales, and viewership, all the things.
That's about star power, narrative, and likability.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
She's so good at basketball.
When Diana Taurasi, one of the most respected names in women's basketball, went on the No Offseason podcast and said Paige Bueckers is going to be the best player in the WNBA.
No Off-Season podcast where she said, hey, Bueckers is going to be the best player in the WNBA.
It sent shockwaves through the fan base. But for those paying attention, this wasn't just a hot take. It was a revealing moment that says more about who she's supporting than what's actually happening on the court. Let's break it down. Taurasi praised Paige for being grounded, patient, and prepared.
The one thing I know about Paige, she is so grounded, she's so patient, and she's so prepared.
Even saying she'll, for sure, be the best player in the league one day. That's not light praise. It's a major endorsement.
One day, she's going to end up being the best player in the league for sure.
But hold up. Where was that energy when Caitlin Clark entered the league? From the moment Clark was drafted, Taurasi's tone was completely different. Instead of encouragement, she dropped that now infamous line, reality is coming.
1 week later, she got the triple-double. We'll see about that. Nothing to see here, alone praising them. And that's it. There's no reality is coming when it's Paige.
That wasn't support. That was a warning. Now think about this. Both Paige and Caitlin are college superstars. But Taurasi showers Paige.
Diana Taurasi. High praise in Paige Bueckers' future. She's going to be the best player in the league.
Her fellow Yukon alum with glowing future projections, while giving Caitlin, who's already making WNBA history, little to no credit.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
She is the main draw. She is the needle mover.
And she was the MVP.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
Why? The answer is clear. Yukon bias.
There are so many players that are in the WNBA because they went to Yukon. If we're being completely honest, there's absolutely no reason why Katie Lou Samuelson lasted this long in the league.
This isn't new. The Yukon Mafia, as fans are now calling it, has a long history of prioritizing their own. Let's go back to 2016. Candace Parker had just been named WNBA MVP. Nneka Ogwumike had dominated as well. But both were left off the Olympic roster, while Yukon's Breanna Stewart, still a rookie, made the team.
The Yukon Mafia sticks together. Never forget, in the year of 2016, WNBA MVP was Candace Parker. The WNBA Finals MVP was Nneka Ogwumike. They were two of the 5 best players in the world. And the great Gina Auriemma, the Yukon coach, said, you know what? We're not going to bring either of them. We're going to bring this rookie who's on a losing team just because I coached her in college. We're not going to bring 2 of the 5 best players in the world.
Why? Because Gino Auriemma, Yukon's head coach, was running Team USA. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. So when Taurasi now says Paige is the future, it's not coming from a neutral basketball mind. It's coming from someone steeped in a Yukon network that's known to protect and promote their own.
Diana Taurasi coming out here and saying Paige Bueckers is going to be the best player in the WNBA. And a lot of people are calling out Taurasi. They're like, nice to see a legend give props to rookies, unlike some other legends in a basketball league.
And it begs the question, if Caitlin Clark had gone to Yukon, would this conversation even be happening? Probably not. Because what we're seeing isn't just praise, it's protectionism. The Yukon circle is doing what it always does, uplift one of their own, even if it means ignoring the actual best player in the league right now, Caitlin Clark. Now let's talk facts. Diana Taurasi can say whatever she wants about Paige Bueckers being the future of the WNBA. But when you stack Paige's current rookie performance next to Caitlin Clark's, it's not even close. Let's start with the numbers. Paige Bueckers is currently averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, with shooting splits around 34% from the field and 33% from three.
We look at her stats right now. She's averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds if you round up, 6 assists, and 2 steals if you round up as well. So her defense don't look that bad. Let me see how many blocks. Yeah, she averaged 0.5 blocks, 1 if you want to round up. So her defense looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. But, you know, her efficiency is 34% from the field, 33 from the 3 right now. Not too good.
Those are decent numbers for a rookie, but nothing earth-shattering. More importantly, her team, despite having solid talent like Nalissa Smith and Kelsey Mitchell, has yet to win a game. That's right, 0 wins. They're 0-4, struggling to find chemistry, and Paige hasn't been the game changer her supporters promised.
Paige is older than Caitlin Clark. So she surely must be better, 13 and 6 assists versus 19 and 9 on quite similar shooting efficiency.
Now flip over to Caitlin Clark. She's putting up 19 points, 6 assists, and nearly 5 rebounds per game, often against top-tier defensive matchups. And oh yeah, she just became the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double. That's historic. That's elite company. That's something even Taurasi herself never achieved in her rookie season. And she did it with a Fever team that had been bottom of the standings last season. And let's not ignore the impact beyond stats. Caitlin Clark has changed the way people talk about the WNBA. Her presence has boosted ratings, ticket sales, merchandise, and national attention to a league that, let's be honest, was begging for a breakout star.
I would say that it's possible that Paige can do it, but to say for sure that she is going to be is another thing, man. Especially when you have Caitlin Clark in the league right now. Come on, fam.
She's already sold out arenas and even broke all-star voting records, and she's not even halfway through her rookie year. Meanwhile, Paige is playing solid basketball, but hasn't brought any of that gravity with her. No historic headlines, no triple-doubles, no record-breaking anything. Yet, somehow, Taurasi is putting her above Clark. That's a hard sell.
We're not creating this rivalry. We're not saying they hate each other, but they are 2 of the best in the game right now.
We want to see Caitlin Clark and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
And let's not pretend this is just about their rookie seasons. Caitlin Clark had arguably the most dominant college basketball career of all time. She left Iowa as the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, not just in women's basketball, but across both men's and women's divisions. She had the signature style of play, deep logo threes, flashy passes, unmatched vision, and she backed it up with wins, leading her team to 2 consecutive NCAA championship games.
The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player, and Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.
Paige, on the other hand, while undeniably talented, missed a significant portion of her college career due to injuries and didn't lead Yukon to any national championships during that span. In fact, her later seasons were overshadowed by teammates like Azzi Fudd and more recently, Sarah Strong, who many argue outperformed Paige on the same team. That's not hate, that's context. If she wasn't the best player on her college team consistently, what makes us believe she's suddenly the next WNBA superstar? Let's also not forget Caitlin's efficiency and toughness. She's been battling aggressive defense, hard fouls, and even flagrant hits game after game. Despite all of that, she still shows up, competes at the highest level, and finds ways to elevate her team. That's what greatness looks like. And don't get it twisted. This isn't to tear Paige down. She's a great player with tons of potential.
Caitlin Clark is becoming the best player, not because she's white, because she's that good. She's having Larry Bird impact. She's been the driving force of the hottest team in the entire league, despite her record turnover.
But the point is this, she's not Caitlin Clark, not statistically, not historically, and certainly not in terms of league impact. So when Taurasi goes on record saying Paige is the future and ignores everything Caitlin has already accomplished, that's not just questionable, it's downright disrespectful. At the end of the day, reality already came, and it came wearing number 22 for the Indiana Fever.
The jerseys, the number 22, the various styles, whether it's a t-shirt with 22, whether it's an Iowa jersey, whether it's a Fever jersey, a throwback, I mean, whatever. The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is stunning.
Let's get to the real reason behind all this noise. Why is there such a rush to crown Paige Bueckers the next face of the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is clearly already wearing that crown? Why would someone like Diana Taurasi, one of the most accomplished players in women's basketball, downplay Caitlin's meteoric rise while going out of her way to hype Paige, who hasn't even made a dent yet? The answer is a mix of double standards, jealousy, and fear. Caitlin Clark has done more for the WNBA in 6 months than most players have in their entire careers. She came in with unprecedented hype, and instead of crumbling under the pressure, she delivered. She packed arenas. She shattered rookie records. She single-handedly brought national media coverage to regular season WNBA games.
She's right here shooting the ball around. I think Dantes ended up telling her, like, fam, get off of your leg. Get off of it. And yeah, she's shooting around. Look here go Dantes right here. look at her. She's gonna point to the side. Go sit down. Look, go sit down, Caitlin.
But what did she get in return from some of the league's biggest names and insiders? Cold shoulders, dismissive comments, and in some cases, outright hostility. And look, this isn't just about Taurasi. This has been a pattern. When Caitlin came into the league, instead of being embraced as the savior of a struggling product, she was immediately met with resistance. Taurasi's infamous reality is coming jab wasn't just commentary. It was a warning, a signal that some veterans weren't happy with the spotlight shifting so fast to a rookie who hadn't earned her stripes yet. But let's be honest, Caitlin's been earning her stripes since high school. Now contrast that with Paige Bueckers, a talented, marketable player who comes from the perfect pipeline, Yukon. The same place Taurasi, Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart, Maya Moore, and so many others came from. The Yukon system has been a gatekeeper to the WNBA elite for decades. If you're in it, you're protected, you're praised, you're promoted, sometimes even when your performance doesn't justify it. And let's not act like this hasn't affected team selection, contracts, and media narratives. Just look back to the 2016 Olympics. Candace Parker, coming off an MVP season, was left off the Olympic team.
The 2016 US Olympics team was way better than the 2024 one. The worst constructed team I've ever seen. And they still refuse to bring the rookie. But you could guarantee if Caitlin Clark went to Yukon, they said that. Caitlin Clark went to Yukon, everything would be different. And that's proof here.
Nneka Ogwumika, another WNBA superstar, also left off. Who got in? Breanna Stewart, Taurasi's Yukon heir. Coincidence? Not a chance. And guess who the coach was? Gino Auriemma, the godfather of Yukon Bias. Fast forward to today, and that same machinery is working overtime to make Paige Bueckers the heir to the throne, even though Caitlin Clark is already sitting on it. But here's the thing, the backlash Caitlin's facing has nothing to do with her game. It has everything to do with what she represents. She's a disruptor. She didn't come through the approved system. She didn't have the Yukon stamp of approval. She's from Iowa, a school nobody expected to produce the next basketball megastar. She's a threat to the old order, and they know it. And it goes deeper. Caitlin's impact isn't just numbers, it's culture. She's bringing in millions of new fans.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers. We're talking about a preseason game against the Brazil national team drawing 1.2 million views.
She's redefining what's possible in women's basketball. And for some players and insiders who've spent years grinding in obscurity, watching her rise can feel like an insult to their struggles. But it's not. It's an opportunity to grow the game, increase visibility, and finally get women's basketball the respect it deserves. Instead, what do we get? A double standard. Diana Taurasi calling Paige the future while dismissing Caitlin. Alyssa Thomas targeting her with flagrant fouls. Players mocking her for foul calls while ignoring the constant abuse she takes every game. And yet, through it all, Caitlin keeps performing, keeps leading, keeps rising. Let's not pretend this is a fair fight. When Paige struggles, the media says, she just needs time. When Caitlin gets triple-teamed and still puts up 30 points, she's overrated.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
Caitlin has always been an underrated athlete. She's the fastest player in the league to me with the ball in her hands, and she was the best guard finishing around the rim last year. She shot a bunch of it, and it's been the whole preseason where it looks to me like on her deepest shots, she is just getting them off like they're nothing, like they're routine, because nobody else is shooting from this distance regularly, and she's doing it with a flick of the wrist.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
She is the main draw. She is the needle mover.
And she was the MVP.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
When Paige plays well, it's future greatness. When Caitlin dominates, she needs to prove herself. That's not analysis. That's bias. Caitlin Clark isn't just battling defenders. She's battling a system that doesn't want her to win too fast, too loud, or too big. But here's the truth. She's doing all three. And that's exactly why some people are trying to shift the narrative, to protect the old guard, to keep the spotlight where they think it belongs. But Caitlin's not asking for permission. She's taking her place at the top. And no amount of biased praise, coded criticism, or Yukon propaganda is going to stop her. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. The impact doesn't lie. And Caitlin Clark's greatness? That definitely doesn't lie. She's not just the future of the WNBA, she's the present. While others are hyping up potential, Caitlin is out here making history in real time. So let Diana Taurasi talk. Let the Yukon echo chamber keep praising their own. Because the world sees what's really happening. Caitlin Clark is already changing the game.
Caitlin Clark is Indiana Fever's leading scorer at over 19 points a game.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
Yeah, she's so good at basketball.
Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like...
Cannot deny the impact that she's made on this sport.
And no amount of favoritism, politics, or media spin is going to rewrite that story. If you believe Caitlin Clark is the best young player in the WNBA, drop a 100% in the comments. Let's make our voices heard. Let's support the player who's doing more than anyone to take this league to the next level. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell so you don't miss what's next. Because the Caitlin Clark era, it's only just begun.